Hi, so for this week's advanced concept, I will talk about how atomic or nuclear bombs occur and like what the reaction is that allows them to occur. So there are two ways that nuclear energy can be released from an atom. One is through nuclear fission with an I, and that is that the nucleus of an atom is split into two smaller fragments by a neutron. So usually for this method, they'll use isotopes of uranium-235 or uranium-233 or plutonium-239. The other kind is nuclear fusion, which is when two smaller atoms are brought together, usually hydrogen or hydrogen isotopes, which are like deuterium or tritium. And that's in order to form a larger helium isotope, and this is how usually the sun produces energy. So fission produces the atomic bomb, which is a weapon usually of mass destruction that uses power release by splitting atomic nuclei. So when a single free neutron strikes the nucleus of an atom of radioactive material, like uranium or plutonium, it knocks 2 or 3 more neutrons free. So once this energy is released, when those neutrons split off from the nucleus, and like usually the newly released neutrons strike other uranium or plutonium nuclei, splitting them in the same way, and it releases more energy and more neutrons. So this chain reaction spreads instantaneously. They used these kinds of bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and at the end of World War II. So they called the Hiroshima bomb Little Boy because it was thin, and they used uranium-235, and that compared to the one used on Hiroshima. The Nagasaki bomb was rounder and fatter, so it's called Fat Man, and the material used in that was plutonium-239. So in order to detonate an atomic weapon, you need critical mass of fissionable material. So this means you need enough uranium-235 and plutonium-239 to ensure that the neutrons released by fission will strike another nucleus, which will create a chain reaction, and that the chain reaction is critical. So the critical mass is defined as the amount of material at which a neutron produced by a fission process will, on average, create another fission event. Hence the chain reaction. So nuclear fusion is a reaction that releases atomic energy by the union of light nuclei at high temperatures to form heavier atoms. So hydrogen bombs, which use nuclear fusion, have higher destructive power and greater effectiveness than atomic bombs, actually. So due to the high temperatures required to initiate a nuclear fusion reaction, the process is often referred to as a thermonuclear explosion. So this is usually done with isotopes of hydrogen, like I mentioned before, deuterium or tritium, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So they fuse together to form helium atoms, and this led to forming the hydrogen bomb to describe the deuterium-tritium fusion bomb. So that is the reaction that is occurring. Thank you.